I had gone to do an interview. I was working for the Frame Dealer, and I walked into an empty building. The people I was there to interview had gone, and I went upstairs to a theater, and there was a guy standing there. We had a short conversation. I said, "Oh, they're gone," and he said, "But they said they'll be right back." And then he said that he was working on the lighting in the theater, and did I want to see it while I waited. And I walked in to the theater ahead of him and walked down the aisle and got up on the stage, and he was behind me the whole time, and he started saying something vague about the lights, and I just thought, this is bad. And at that same moment, he grabbed me and put a dagger basically up to my neck and pulled me away and pulled me backstage. And what we do here is tell stories, and stories are powerful. And this was a story that I had buried, and it had stayed powerful inside me. It was like a weed choking everything, still growing, still powerful. And that the way for me to deal with this might be to do what I do professionally and pursue it as a story and find out why this happened and who the guy was who raped me. I saw him 5 times, and I knew very little about him. And yet he had controlled a lot of my life from then on. Ford? No, I am, my name is Joanna Connors. I am meeting Mr. Yakuba at the prison today, and he left this extension for me to call to have him paged. And so when I started looking into his life, one of the first things I found out was that he had died in prison. Not violently, he had died of cancer after serving 16 years. His parents were both dead when he died, and they did not have any contact information for his family. So he was buried with the prisoners at a cemetery at Pickaway Prison. It's on a hill overlooking the prison, just a field. And you start walking, and every now and then you see a little marker sunk into the grass with a number. No names, just a number. But a lot of those markers the grass has grown over them. We were looking for the number I had been given for David Francis, the rapist, and I was walking, and it just occurred to me that in the last 16 years of his life, he was a number. He was a prisoner number, and he was treated like a number. And in death, he was just a number too, and not just a number, but a number that disappears after a couple of years. I expected to have a very cathartic moment there, and I didn't. I just felt empty. For me, that's not where he was. That's not where to find him. And really where to find him was inside me. They say, and I believe, that the way you live on after you die is by the people who remember you. And another big thing I took from this project is that I remembered him better than anybody, and I was his victim. And I had been keeping him alive. It took going somewhere else to sort of confront that spirit or the haunting of me. And that was going back to the theater where it happened. And I walked into that theater, and it was dark with the ghost light, very much like the day that the rape happened. When I went in, I really felt that this place was haunted, and it was haunted by me and by him. And that's where I sort of had my cathartic moment, just thinking, this has got to be pulled out of me. And it started there, but really writing the story pulled a lot of it out too. Freedom doesn't mean going out at night for a walk by yourself. Freedom means saying, this is who I am. I'm me, and I have all these flaws, and I have all these gifts, and, you know, this is me. And being just open and honest about who we are. That's the kind of freedom that I'm kind of trying to work towards.